Going back to last week then, I made a video saying the Super Smash Bros. Would be launching on the Nintendo Switch in some capacity this year, and it seems just a week later we have more evidence to suggest that will be the case. So the evidence that we have now is trusted source Emily Rodgers, who has a good track record of predicting rumours and games and new consoles, in terms of Nintendo that is. In the past, obviously she's not got everything she stated correct, but a lot of stuff that she has predicted has come true. Again, there's some things that haven't come true that she has said. However, going into what she said today, you'd think that it's probably going to be on the money this time. So she has claimed that a new Super Smash Bros. Title is being worked on. So this is what she had to say on the matter. A Smash Bros. Title will be announced and released for Switch later this year. They added brand new content and reworked some of the existing Wii U and 3DS content. However, when asked on the matter and questioned further about whether this would be a new Smash Bros. Game or perhaps just an upscaled sort of definitive edition or deluxe edition like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was when that launched on the Switch, she couldn't really comment further on the matter, claiming she didn't have enough information to confirm whether it would be a deluxe definitive edition port, a half sequel, or a full sequel. But she did reiterate that Smash Bros. Switch is definitely not a straight port, so it's not going to be just the game taken from the 3DS / and the Wii U versions of the game put onto the Switch. Here we go, it's exactly the same. It's going to be at the bare minimum the same as what happened with Mario Kart 8, where they sort of take it, improve it graphically and with the power and all that sort of thing, the frame rates, and add a couple more features, maybe characters, maybe tracks. Obviously they added a new battle mode into Mario Kart, and then they're going to put it on the Switch as well. So she had more to say in the matter. Calling it a straight port implies that only the Wii U content is coming to Smash Bros. Switch. Don't forget that a 3DS version existed too. Smash Bros. Switch will also have brand new content. So this again reiterates why she was questioned on the matter in terms of will it be a full sequel or just a port with, like a deluxe version of the port with the extra features, and as I already said, she couldn't clarify on that further. So with this now and all the past rumours we've had of the game coming to the console, potentially one of Bandai Namco's 3 games that they've said are coming this year according to their LinkedIn profile. That news obviously breaking a couple of weeks ago with the news that they are going to be working on Metroid Prime 4. You'd like to think that perhaps one of their games is going to be a Smash Bros. Port, and that'll be probably one of the more likely ones to actually launch this year as well. So what does this mean for the Smash Bros. Game on the Nintendo Switch? Well, personally, I do think it's going to be a deluxe version or a definitive edition of the Wii U and 3DS versions combined. And where she stated that they're going to be reworking some features, I think maybe they'll be reworking the online infrastructure, because that was a bit rubbish, let's be honest. The way the online worked in general in the game, especially the Wii U version, was a bit disappointing. It's a game that you'd like to be able to go online and play continuously, but they don't really have the replay factor there. Whether it's the loading times, whether it's the connection in terms of the lag. I just don't think the replayability is there on the online service in Smash Bros. It could be so much better than it is. What it needs to be is the same experience when you play in the same house with your friends. You put 4 of you on the screen, or 8 of you, obviously you can do 8 people now. You put 8 of you on the screen and you have a fight and you have a laugh. It needs to be that, but online, with all the other modes and everything included. But obviously that's not quite at the level it could be, as far as I'm concerned. So that could be one thing they're reworking and improving on for the deluxe version. Obviously remembering that they reworked battle mode for Mario Kart 8, so it is possible they could do something like this. The second thing could be something to do with the Smash Run game mode that's on the 3DS, how they're going to bring that to like the home console version. Maybe they'll rework it a little bit, or maybe they'll leave it as it is, I'm not sure. I think maybe they'll tweak it sort of to make it fit better on a home console and obviously portable aspect. In terms of new content, now what would I like them to add? I'd like them to add a story mode such as the subspace from Brawl. I don't think they will do that though, unfortunately. I mean, the reason he didn't make one in the first place was because people obviously uploading videos, spoiling the story, that sort of thing that he didn't like. I don't think he's going to go and put that in now, to be honest. If they're going to put it in, it'll probably be in a new version of the game, which will come many years down the line. Maybe some new characters. I think the return of the Ice Climbers would be a massive thing, and I really think they will do that, because the only reason they didn't do it in the first place was because of the 3DS limitations. But this being a definitive version, probably, obviously not confirmed, I think we'll give them the option to put the Ice Climbers back in, and I think it's all but guaranteed they're going to put some new characters in. So instead of sort of gaining a new license for an IP or designing a new model up, I do believe they had the Ice Climbers working on the Wii U version. They just couldn't fit that extra character sort of on the 3DS. I reckon I could do it on the new 3DS now with the extra power available to them there, but obviously when the game came out, that wasn't available. Maybe another thing they could add is more customization in terms of the characters, whether it's skins or anything like that. Obviously you've got the 8 colours that you can pick from normally with every character, but maybe they'll add a little bit more. Maybe it'll be like, you know, variants from different games the characters have been in, like more recent games, like a Mario Maker version of Mario, a Link from Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and Zelda as well, or something like that. Perhaps they'll add maybe other new characters as well, such as one or two of the champions from Breath of the Wild. Probably one at a stretch, I would have thought, in that aspect. I think maybe characters from Splatoon, I think one of those could possibly make it in, like an Inkling boy, or I don't know. I can't really imagine anything else. It would probably have to be something like an Inkling boy. I don't think they'd add anything else in from Splatoon, to be honest. Any ideas on that? Let me know in the comments below. Obviously, Chibi Robo had a 3DS game. Maybe that's something I might consider. Could be another Fire Emblem character from the remade game that came out on a 3DS, or potentially linked in with the new Fire Emblem game that's going to launch later this year. Perhaps one of those characters will make it in. And finally, obviously, they got a new fighting game out called ARMS, so maybe they'll put one of the characters from ARMS into the game. But there's a couple of ideas. They don't all have to come, you know, from the start as well. They could do updates after the game is launched. It could be DLC like they did before, or it could just be free updates. I'm not sure. I'm sure it'll probably be more likely to be DLC. But yeah, you know, it's the opportunity to refresh the game and start supporting it again down the line for a year, maybe 2 years. Keep people interested, give them new stuff, obviously new stages or a link to maybe any new characters that come in and any new games that have come out since. That's a no-brainer as well. But I think I've hit most of the basic things on the head. Obviously, I'd like to see everything in the Super Smash Bros. Games for 3DS and Wii U return, at least as they are now, or made better, you know, otherwise. And I really think that's the most likely outcome of this Smash Bros. Game that could be launching this year. I'm going to go and say I very, very much doubt that it's going to be a new installment in the Smash Bros. Franchise. I don't think there's been enough time passed since the last one, and these games take years to make, and I'm sure if it was going to be a brand new sequel, we would have heard something by now, because he likes to trickle out the content little by little. If you just remember the Smash Brothers Dojo, the way that worked with Brawl, didn't necessarily work like that with the Wii U one, but we had, you know, trickles of content about what's going to be in the game coming out all the time, and I think we would have, you know, hype would have been built up over a longer period of time if it was going to be a new installment in the Smash Brothers series, which is why I think it's going to be a definitive edition of a merged 3DS and Wii U version of the game. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think Smash Brothers is going to be launching on the Switch this year? And if so, are you excited for that game to launch on the Switch? Leave a like if you enjoyed this video and subscribe for more Nintendo Switch news. Don't forget to hit the bell to make sure you're notified for new videos. And thank you for watching. I shall see you again soon.